window. I saw my friend in the driver's seat. I jumped out after opening the door. Oh my modeling career began when my mother threw me into a dumpster at 6 months old. I learned from her stories that my grandmother had high goals. She was devastated when she became pregnant. A neighbor was taking out their trash and saw me in the can and thought, "Oh my God, I know this baby. I know his mom." She rescued me and called my grandma's church, telling her, "You need to come home because I have your grandson." He was in the dumpster. They went to court and my grandma won custody. My grandma suffered a nervous breakdown when I was 4 and spent a year in the hospital. She abandoned me. I traveled several times that year before moving in with my mom's sister's household. This wasn't my favorite place. Many sad, lonely, and unhappy days come to mind. I remember looking around the house at 4 years old and thinking, there's nobody I can talk to about anything. I can't look up to anybody here. I'm going to teach myself how to grow up, and I'm going to learn about life on my own. By first grade, I had already started to think negatively about myself due to constant criticism, such as my weight. Actually, Fat Boy was my nickname. They had Problem Child. I had many names. I felt like the Family Jokes punchline. I had a few visits from my mom over the years, but she repeatedly rejected me, saying, "I didn't want you, and I still don't want you. That's why you're not with me. I don't want you, and I'm not your mom." This started when I was very young and damaged my self-esteem. My family attended church, but the children were abused physically and mentally. When I was 8, my family's harsh treatment of me made me wonder, how can these people call me all these names? How can they treat a child so badly when we go to church all the time? I had many questions about God and often heard, "Don't question God. If you question God, you're going to burn in hell." I started cutting myself. I spent much time alone in my room. I couldn't be in the living room with everyone. Around age 10, I stopped cutting myself and focused on music. I knew I needed therapy even as a child. I sought spiritual assistance but was always convinced I was cursed. Truly terrifying. I was too scared to ask questions. I guess they found my lyrics about them. They summoned my granny when I was 13 and visiting. We went through his stuff. We found some very foul music that he was writing about us, and he doesn't ever have to come back to this house again. Which was a relief to me. Being evicted from that house was great. I could find another place now. I changed houses about this time when I started high school. I didn't think about suicide much in high school because I was popular. The years after high school were productive. Everybody I know has left high school to pursue their own goals. Melancholy returned. I struggled since I had no family or support structure, but my friends did. I worked several jobs into my 20s. I started feeling horrible about myself because I was playing catch-up while my buddies got houses, cars, and other help. I must take the long way because I'm last. It offended me greatly. At this moment, my depression reached a breaking point, and I considered suicide. Depression and suicide ideation cause antisocial conduct and apathy. You have a severe social phobia because you're convinced everyone is out to get you. Where is my purpose in life without God's love? Why my mother threw me away is beyond me. My family doesn't care about me. Why? Thus, I was alone. I was alone, so I decided to go. I took each medication as best I could. It was ineffective. This bores me. Consumed as much alcohol as possible. It was useless. This bores me. I realized, I'm going to get myself out of here. And planned, will I drown? How should I proceed? So I'm going to the train station. In my despair, I watched each train pass by all day, plotting my escape. Then I would lie down when I wanted to be hit. I would implement my approach since I had one. I planned when to do it. A friend hosted me a few days before I scheduled it. I stormed out after saying, "You know what? I'm out of here," after our heated disagreement. I was 105 feet from the railroad track when the trumpet sounded. "Get in the car," they shouted. After jumping in, I thought, man, this plan is ruined. I had to come up with a new plan to kill myself. My mom calls me when I get in the car. I thought this could be a sign from God or something. Maybe she could change my mind, make me not want to kill myself. But it was the opposite. I hadn't heard from her in years. Her grandma gave her my number because she assumed you were interested in her. She added, I need you to stop asking about me. I'm not your mom. I don't want you again. I'm not your mom. I asked how she got my number, and she responded, well, your grandma gave me your number, and she said you were asking about me. So I checked my phone. In such households, I could see the physical and verbal abuse, insulting names, and other bullying I received as a child. She said, I'm not your mom. Everything happened instantly, and I looked at my phone and screamed, well, F you. You never were, before throwing it away. I saw my friend in the driver's seat. I jumped out after opening the door. Oh my, the bang is all I remember. My near-death experience begins then. Just a low rumble in my mind. I thought, that hurt. Well, I'm gonna get up now and just walk back home. I strained to stand up, but an inner voice kept warning me. I wouldn't do that if I were you. I continued saying, yeah, man, whatever. I let go of my body and tried again. I had no notion I was about to faint. I foolishly thought I was standing. I rose up, staring at my lifeless body on the concrete beside me. No, I'm just tripping. I'm gonna go home or something. I was suspended in midair, surrounded by vivid colors after 3 steps. Black, blue, and green colors swarmed around me. It appeared empty but had substance. I knew it was God, Source, or anything because I felt the strongest presence ever. There was no denying it. Thus, I knew this was undisputed. I sensed it. Despite seeing no body or voice, I could feel it. Telepathy conveyed some thoughts. Though inaudible, I can feel and hear it in my heart. This source spoke like lightning. It was strong. As expected, all my questions were answered. If I had said, hey Chuck, hey Bill, or hey Harry, he would have said, hey, I'm Harry. Let me reintroduce myself. So he says, let me reintroduce myself. I am God. I replied, no. I had no faith in supernatural beings. I thought she was tricking me, he was sending demons after me, or they were going to sentence me to hell. I say, wait, thinking, I don't deserve to be in your presence. Let me go back and get perfect. Then I'll come back and be with you. But he says, no, I want you now, how you are. I want you imperfect. I love that. That's exactly how I want you now. I'm confused and think, this is nuts. What is going on here? So I can feel him introducing himself and his traits. Then a word storm began. I read loving, caring, and another in capital letters with 4 exclamation marks. Like long-suffering, it vanished fast. I recall hearing long-suffering at church as a child. If I went back and said, hey, I saw God, people would definitely think I was insane. How do I address them? Whoa, he said, go and tell everyone that I love them. Then I noticed this projection screen. I had a projection screen throughout my near-death experience, unlike life reviewers. In the first film, he says, I love her. Then he shows a man in his suit holding a briefcase and adds, I love him. Finally, he shows a skateboarder smoking a joint and says, I love him. Everyone is his favorite. He saw a father holding his child close to his chest and muttered, I don't like that. Unlike what I expected, I'm going to kill him and he's going to burn. His words were measured. I wondered about evil, but he pointed left before I could ask. So I look far left and see a shackled serpent. I said, you can't make this stuff up. He said, that has nothing to do with you. You don't need to worry about that. Then he said, I will go to the end of the world so that everyone is with me. He's the most powerful man, but then I saw no figure when he knelt and hugged me. That hug was safer and tighter than a lady. It was overwhelming, like a superwoman hug. Hope it lasts forever. After he let go, I thought, oh no, I'm right back in this wicked world. I need to be cradled in your arms constantly. Oh my, floating in midair, I hopped out of the car near a church and police station, so everything I saw is relevant. After seeing some houses in the distance, I turned and saw a swarm of angels. Because your personality and character survived death, I knew my ideas were still with me. As I saw a flurry of Bibles and crosses, I thought, oh no, it's over. I didn't read the King James Bible for a 4th time. I'm gonna burn, that's it, it's over. I know these crosses came from the Baptist Christian Church and the Pentecostal Church, which believed one would burn in hell even if they exhaled the wrong breath. I kept seeing two hauntingly familiar angels while surveying the landscape. One corner was one and the other. They each grabbed my arm. And, no, I'm like, get me out of here, I've got to get out of here. They respond, it's okay, calm down. We love you, you're going to be okay. I saw an angel on my left with a beetle's face, the only way I can explain it. Like staring at the sun, its face was illuminated. It reached around 5 feet with wings spread and might have been 9 feet tall. This one gives me the evil eye and speaks in a harsh, almost telepathic voice. When he asked, are you sure you want to go? I looked at the other angel and thought, maybe I'll have better luck with this one. At this moment, he was ripped and jacked, wearing blue jeans, a red flannel shirt with elbow sleeves, and brown slippers. Please give me a break. I'm going to exercise at home and leave. I feared this huge one would trample on me, but he was polite. Note, you have so much to do for so many people. Wait, who me? I have so much to do for so many people. Like, do you guys have the right one? Do you not know the kind of stuff I've done down there? They respond, look down. I look down and see my pal far away, paramedics looming over me, a whirl of lights, possibly police cars, and a fire engine, and many onlookers. They corrected me as I looked up from staring at myself. No, look again, you need to see this. Angels knew I had trust issues and needed proof before believing anything, so I knew they existed. The final hint was look again, they said. Again, I look down, and my eyesight sharpens like a camera lens, revealing every aspect of my body. I had no idea such things happened. I even asked my guardian angel, how come I be down there when I'm right here? I now believe in life after death. Do you want to stay or go? My right and left angels inquired. I called the cloud with the hole a dut hole, since I knew if I crossed over, I would have gone all the way over. When I heard, you have so much to do for so many people, I thought, okay, yeah, you have so much to do for so many people. Returning to Earth looked like the greatest option. I will return after deciding. When I woke up in the ICU, they told me I would be out for a few days. I remember their description of me as a miracle and the words, we thought you were dead. We didn't think you were coming back. They said I had hemorrhaged an unknown number of times, but was missing each time. On my hospital discharge day, I was carried to my car because I couldn't walk, speak, or use my senses. Then I looked up. Despite everything changing, I could see the mountain, light, horizon, and blue sky. I knew God must be lovely who loves and cares for us without judging us. Then I realized God is who he says he is. I no longer feared death. Then things changed. Many people do not experience suicide like I did. If my life hadn't prepared me, I could still be lost. You are loved by God and someone else in this world. Just open your voice. Fortunately, I returned to share this message with suicidal people. Someone will help. Suicidal people don't talk about it because they're ashamed, but that's when they'll commit suicide. Someone out there cares, I swear. Do not disgrace yourself. I often remind folks that a simple viewpoint shift can change everything.